Hit record. Hey, so today I decided to go over what Darren Hardy talked about. And if you don't know who Darren Hardy is, he's like probably my personal development man crush. Absolutely love everything that he has. And so anytime I hear his name, I am like there. So last month for Hitting Success Club, Beachbody gave away a live presentation with Darren Hardy to anyone who earned it. So I took a whole bunch of notes, and I figured what better way to share what he had to say with the team than on a team call. Obviously, there are coaches on the team that were on that call that qualified for that call, but this is really for those who didn't get to, because I feel like it's important information for you guys too. So I have a slide, slides for you guys. Let me just screen share. Let's see. There you are. I am going to mute everyone because there's an echo. If you need to ask me a question, just take yourselves off mute. Okay, so can everybody see this? Okay, good. So Darren Hardy's speech to all of us was titled Finish Big. So how to take the end of the year and really propel into 2016 with a bang. So first we're going to go over the top 10 from last week. And if you don't know what this is the top 10 coaches on Revelation Fitness for, it's weekly, I do it. And that's out of about 2,100 coaches. So number 1 is Kate Harris, who's on this call. So congratulations, Kate. Brittany Cooley's at number 2, Bianca's at number 3, Taylor's at number 4, Amy's at 5, Jenna's at 6, Shane is at 7, Kelly is at 8, Leslie is at 9, and Tanya is at 10. There's a whole bunch of new names on there, which is pretty awesome for the week. And as this week is coming to a close, we should see some name changes and some new people on there as well. So congratulations to Revelation Fitness top 10 coaches. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to be going through my notes as long, as I'm going through this with you guys, because I want to make sure that I tell you everything that I took away from this that has already helped me in the last 45 days of the year. So Darren was talking about how the last 45 days produces 20 to 40% of your outcome for the entire year. That's a big, big chunk of your year, just in the last 45 days, if you look at that ratio. So it's important that you have a plan going forward. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in the upcoming slides, but just showing you the numbers of how the last, month and a half are crucial to your business, especially for this year. Most of your business and the good things happen within that 45 days. So success is only determined by what you finish, right? So you can't be successful at something if you haven't finished it. So that being said, you are not deemed a success for the year until the year is out. So then we're going to talk about how to finish big. A lot of people, especially this time of year with the holidays and everything, there's distractions, right? So everyone gets distracted. There's goals that are trying to be met. There's people ranking all around you. There's people hitting their goals. And if we spend the time looking over our shoulders at what other people are doing, we will be distracted and we won't be meeting our goals. It's great to take what other people are doing and, implement it into what we're doing, but constantly having that look over your shoulder type of feel and attitude towards your business is going to only hurt you in these last 45 days. So you may hear me talk about all the time, putting those blinders on, making sure that you are focused on those goals that you and I, if you're my personally sponsored coach, have put in place, or you and your upline have put in place for you for the end of the year. So make sure that you have a clear list of your goals between now and December 31st, right? So the call to action for this, part of it is to write down 5 potential distractions you might encounter and your prevention plan. This is big. So you might, parties might be something that is an issue. And doctor's appointments, things that are going to be a distraction, things that you're going to try to do outside of business hours, so on and so forth. Anything that will distract you from meeting your goals that you have set. And then once you have those distractions written down, you're gonna figure out a prevention plan. How are you going to work around those distractions? How are you going to get them out? For example, if you're somebody like me who compares themselves a lot to other coaches in the business who have come into this business the same time as you or after you and they're ahead of you, I know that this is a big one. Everybody compares themselves. So what I have had to do is I've had to go unfollow the people that I compare myself to the most. And that has been able to put my blinders on so that I can focus solely on my business. Okay. Getting a success partner that has the same values and is at the same spot in the business as you is perfect. Your success partner may change. I have numerous success partners. But if I'm success partners with somebody who is, 9 or 10 star and I'm 6, I might get discouraged because I see them moving up and I'm not. So I'm leveling the playing field, talking with somebody who has the same goals as me as far as the business, and we are working together to meet those goals. So your success partner may change, and that's okay. So that's your first call to action of tonight. So write that down so that you can write it out. I want these, whoever's on this call and whoever listens to the recording, I would love it if you would post these, your 5 potential distractions and your prevention plan. It doesn't have to be the full prevention plan, but just post them in Revelation Fitness so people can see, like, okay, this is what's going on, this is what we're doing, and maybe I can help as well. I think that will be fun. So moving on to winning. What separates winning from losing? It's the final stretch, the final seconds, the final shot, and the final effort. So if you think about it, if you're playing basketball and it's down to the last 10 seconds of the game, what determines, and it's a tie, what determines who wins and who loses is that final shot, right? So everything is in that last final. Speaking of the end of the year, these last 45 days, that's when you win. Winning only requires a little bit more effort than what you were putting in before, right? So it's just doing a little bit more than what you were doing 3 days ago, doing a little bit more than what your friends are doing in the business. So you have to figure out what that is and go with it. So reframe the pain. So pain, everybody doesn't like pain. Everybody would prefer not to experience pain, right? But in this situation, pain is your friend. Why? Because it separates you from everyone else. Nobody likes pain. So nobody's going to push themselves to the point of pain in the business. I'm not talking about, like stabbing pain in your arm or something like that. I'm talking about in the business. It gets tiring, it gets painful. So a lot of people they meet their goal and they don't move past it. That threshold of moving past that goal is where the pain comes in and you reach progress. So pain is progress, pain is victory. The call to action for this is, number 1, write down 2 to 3 ways you can do a little bit more in your business, right? This is going to be something a little bit more as far as inviting and recruiting. How many more can you do? What extra can you do in that area? In the products, where can you do a little bit more? Where can you do a little bit more advertising, like Hammer and Chisel's coming out? If you've met your Success Club goal, you should be focusing on that. Where can you be doing a little bit more in your personal development? If you have been doing something on confidence and your confidence is through the roof, where can you do a little bit more on what you are lacking? Just in general, where can you do more? And then number 2 is, how many times will I push myself into the red line by the end of the year? And that red line is that pain threshold. And Darren used the example of, a race car driver, and pushing the car into the red line. And, most people, once they hit that red line, would back down because they've hit the red line. That's like okay, you don't go any further than this. And he talks about how for the last 45 days, he wants you to stay in that red. He wants you to hover in that red and push through that so that you are above those who hit the red line and go back down, right? So you want to get to the red line and you want to stay there. And you want to track yourself. How long can you stay there? How long can you be in that red line? Success. He talked about 3 things that he pretty much puts his success onto. And these are them. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about them. So prioritize for profitability, right? So this is a business. We have to treat it like a business. We need profit, right? So what this means is if you have a inbox of messages, you're going to go to the ones that are most beneficial to you, the ones that are going to be potential challengers, potential coaches, right? Or a coach having a question that, will help volume-wise. It's not going to be somebody outside the organization. It's not going to be a friend or family has nothing to do with it. Those come second. Prioritize for profitability. Who has the greatest need? You need to figure that out. Who has the greatest need? We have the holidays coming up, so you have people who want a focused plan, right? Because they want to be able to make it through the holidays without gaining a ton of weight. You have, and this is what Darren talked about, the fiscal year. The opportunity to start a business now before the year ends so they can take advantage of that. And then taxes. So how are you going to help, potential coaches and potential challengers right now? It's going to prioritize for profitability. You want to prioritize your list in who has the greatest need in that critical time period of 45 days. So between now and December 31st. Number 2 is build your bank. And this is not your bank account. This is maximizing your time with the people that matter the most to you. So you want to make deposits into their emotional bank accounts. So these might be your coaches, this may be your challengers. So you're going to identify your dozen people. This is another call to action. Identify 12 people who are either 12 prospects, 12 customers, 12 team members. You're going to have a list, and you're going to start depositing into them. Identify your dozen, then go love on them. Pretty much that's what he said. Go love on them. It's big. It takes a lot out of us to be that person. That's why personal development is so huge, and one of the 3 vital behaviors, because we as coaches are constantly giving to our challengers and our coaches and our potentials, that it kind of empties us. So we have to fill ourselves back up and fill our own emotional bank with the personal development. So I did post in Revelation Fitness a whole list of personal developments by topic. So you can go in there and see if there's any that would pertain to you, and go ahead and do that. You could do them on Audible or the book, doesn't matter. And then number 3 is win before the game begins. So you want to do the opposite of everyone else. Everyone else is, thinking about the right now, right? So how am I going to get through this? How am I going to get through this, right now? How am I going to hit my success club? How am I going to sign these coaches? So on and so forth. We're thinking about that, but we're also thinking about December and January. We're thinking about how to become an anti-conformist, as Darren called it. So for December, you want to get yourself fully booked. And this is kind of where I'm going to talk a little bit about my schedule. You want to start planning December and 2016 right now. You want to be ahead of the game. You want to go into January with a full calendar, right? So a full calendar of coach prospects you have to get on the phone with, or a full calendar of, people ready for a challenge group, prospect list for challengers, so on and so forth. That way, when January comes, you're not struggling to say, okay, crap, I didn't do this. I need to figure out where my points are coming from. I need to figure out where my business is going to grow from, so on and so forth. So that being said, like I'm planned out all the way until my preseason starts of Hammer and Chisel. That comes out December 1st. I said it in the beginning of this call. I don't recommend advertising for that until you've met your success goal for this month. But pretty much this is how I would lay out December. It's pretty much laid out for November, but it's the same exact format for December. So November 13th, start advertising for a challenge group. November 23rd, 21 Days of Gratitude group starts. November 23rd, start advertising for Hammer and Chisel. December 1st, Hammer and Chisel launch. December 2nd, advertise for the Holiday Crockpot group. December 7th, Holiday Crockpot group starts. December 9th, preseason starts for Hammer and Chisel test group. That is how my advertising goes. It's how my weeks go, and that's how yours should go. However, it's most convenient to you guys. And then it's just going to continue going. I didn't add in the Coach Basics in there because I'm working on a website for you all where it's self-led trainings for everyone. So when you have a new coach sign up, in your new welcome email, there'll be the link to the website that you can send them and they can start training themselves. But you get the point. It's very, very structured. And once you know what your structure is and how your month is going to plan out, you can start doing that for December and January and even February. March comes out a new program. So you can have all the way up until then and even into March because you know that there's a new program coming out. So you want to be planned. You want to go into 2016 and you want people to say, how did you get Success Club points so early on? How did you build your business so early on in January? Because you planned now, right? So that's winning before the game begins. So he talked a little bit about your planning. So you want to get a calendar. You want to get a day planner. I have a couple that I like, so you can message me or I can post them in the links in Revelation Fitness. And you can order one of those that have really helped. And you want to start booking. I'm going to name some things that you want to put in there that you want to have on that calendar no matter what. Your workouts, right? So if you don't schedule these in, you're not going to do them. He talked about romance time, and I'm assuming that's just one-on-one time with your significant other. Family time, and literally, he talked about putting them on the calendar. Social and rec time, so that's time out with friends, like we do girls' night, so anything that shows up on the calendar for that. And then spiritual or quiet time. And then from there, you're going to schedule you're going to schedule your planning time. So Sunday nights, I'm going to plan my next month. I'm going to plan the next month, here and there. And then you're going to also schedule your leadership time. So when are you going to exhibit those leadership skills and get on the phone with your coaches or, make videos for your team and so on and so forth, that kind of leadership. You're also going to schedule time for the third vital behavior, which is your personal development. That is huge. If it's not on your schedule, you're not going to do it. That is like one of the first things that I would push off. And it's been hard and it's been trying. And I've been in this for 32 months. And yes, I fail that I don't do it, but it's now, a priority that I at least get 10 minutes in, whether I'm driving or I'm walking to the bus stop, doesn't matter. I'm listening to something. So, if you make that a priority, not only are you going to be happier, but you're going to see a huge change in your business. Then whatever time is left after your big stones are placed in your calendar, you're going to fill the rest of that time with prospecting and client appointments. So that would be, getting on the phone with potential challengers, getting on the phone with potential coaches, scheduling time that you're going to start inviting. So from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., I'm going to invite. That's all I'm going to do. Sit in my computer and I'm going to invite people. So that type of prospecting. Okay. It's going to take some serious organization, but I think everybody can do it. believe in you. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the mental part of it. So you have to grow into your goals. You have to become something that you haven't received yet, right? So a goal is something in the future, and we don't meet them. We are growing into them. Like, we are doing things day in and day out to become and achieve that goal. He talked a lot about investing your money. And he said that he got this from Brian, no, I forget who it was. It's right on the tip of my tongue. When I think of it, it'll come to me. But his mentor, who, Zig Ziglar, that's who it was, who talked to him about the power of investing in yourself. So he talked about his money, and it was 10% was going to others. So that would be like a tithe or a charity or whatever. So 10% of what he made went to other people. And then 10% of what he made went to himself, and that was for personal development, or like, seminars and things that he could learn and grow into. And you have to start thinking to yourself, what is it worth? Not what does it cost? And I know this is hard, and we have challengers or potential challengers come into this saying, right off the bat, what does it cost? When really they should be saying, what is it worth to me? So it's the same thing for us in our personal development and our business growth that is really going to make or break the business, because, I've invested a lot of money into personal development, into going to Summit, into going to leadership, the Success Club cruise, all of those things, Super Saturdays, all of those things add up. You get to network with numerous people. You get to meet success partners. You get to make friends that you can learn from. It's just an amazing experience, and I don't regret any of it, because I believe that it is one of the reasons why I am where I am. I'm there. I'm asking questions. I'm associating myself with other coaches that are successful. So the call to action for this is, number one, what is my number one goal for 2016? This is a big one. I mean, you have an entire year, right? So if you have a goal of 5-star elite, write it down. If that is your push goal, if that is your goal, write it down. Whatever that goal is, you have to think big. It's not going to be, I want to be a diamond coach, because you have an entire year. If you really wanted it, you could be diamond by the end of January. Just depends on that goal. So make it a big one. Make it something that we call a push goal, and write it down. I also want to know what it is. So message it to me. Number two is, what is the number one skill do you need to have or grow to achieve that goal? So what do you need to do in your business or in your growth that will help you achieve that goal? Okay. And number three, what is 10% of your 2016 income goal? So you can break it down. We get paid weekly. So you can break it down, what you want to be making weekly or what you want to be making monthly. It doesn't matter. Obviously, add it by 12. It's going to go up every month. It goes up if you're continuing to build correctly. So it's just a general number, and you're going to take 10% of that, and you're going to invest it in you, in seminars, in Coach Summit, in signing up for the next Success Club trip. Like, that's a big one. So what is it? Write down your income goal with 10% of that. Start putting that aside. That's it for my slides. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. Does anyone have any questions about that? No? Oh, okay. So I talked a little bit about the Success Club trip. The next Super Saturday is in January, right? So that Super Saturday, they're going to announce where the 2017 Success Club trip is. So you need to make sure that you get to a Super Saturday near you. You can find them in your back office. And that day, you will be able to sign up for that trip. It will sell out very fast. Well, I should say book up very fast, like 5 minutes. So you have to have quick fingers. And you want to get on that. So you have to talk to your spouse, talk to, whoever you need to talk to about if that's something that they want to do and support you on. There is a non-refundable deposit. It's either $200, $250, or $300. I don't know what it's going to be next year. I thought this past year was $300. I don't know. But that is a non-refundable deposit. But it does help you push yourself to meet your Success Club goal every single month. Because if you do, that trip is paid for, right? Plus, if you do hit Success Club 5 every month for the 12 months, you get extra spending money. So, for example, this year, if the deposit was $300 and you hit Success Club 5 every month for 12 months, you get $600 spending money. So there, you've earned that $300 back. Now you have $300 extra dollars, right? You do have to pay the deposit right when you sign up. If you are on the wait list, you do not. But when you get called off the wait list for wherever we're going, you have, I think, 48 hours to decide if you want to end pay it. But obviously, have the confidence in yourself that you actually can do it, because I believe you can. Hit Success Club every month, and we'll be seeing you wherever we're going. I'm excited to find out, I'll tell you that much. This year we're going to Haiti and Jamaica on a cruise. So does anybody have any questions about that? No? Does anybody have any questions in general? No?
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I had this is a first time for me, first time experience. A girl I went to high school with, I had sent out an invitation to see if she wanted to try some of the programs this month. And I contacted her last week. She just responded back to me today and basically blasted me and said that I was rude and that I was judging her based on her photos and I know nothing about her life and how dare I. Now, I wasn't rude. I even posted my invite on Jen's page, the Working Coaches page, to get other people's input. But my concern is, am I coming, I don't want to offend people. So is there a better way than what I've been doing, which is just messaging people individually?
Well, no, because you want to message people individually. I don't know what was said in the message, but my main concern when I first started, and it's one of the reasons why I've been so successful with signing coaches, because I was never afraid of offending anybody with the business opportunity, right? You can't offend somebody that wants to make more money.
Right.
Everybody wants to make more money. But
Right.
I was always scared of offending somebody. I'm like the most shy person in the whole entire world. I don't want to do anything wrong. I get like this nasty pit in my stomach if I feel like I did something wrong, or if I made somebody upset. Like I get really bad anxiety from it. So I had, for the longest time, the hardest time personally inviting people to a challenge group. So that was until I met Deidre, who obviously excels at inviting people to challenge groups. And she never invited to the business opportunity, so we kind of worked well with each other, because I was like, oh, I can do that in a heartbeat. But she kind of reworded in what was in my head, so that I wasn't offending anyone. And so basically when I send out my invites to like a challenge group, it's pretty much along the lines of, making small talk first. As it dies down, I say, hey, I don't want to keep you, but I'm inviting everyone to a health and fitness, challenge group or whatever. So it doesn't seem like I'm just pinpointing that person. I'm inviting everyone on my Facebook page to this group, right?
Okay.
I pretty much am, unless you're a coach.
Right.
So that's kind of, the way that I've always approached it, because I have been extremely scared of offending somebody. Thank God nobody's ever come back to me and said, you think I'm fat, and like that bothers me. But,
yeah, I was and I apologize profusely. I think she's got some underlying issues, but I Oh, so that helps. Okay. So just, I'm inviting everybody to this health and fitness group, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's helpful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? So if you are a new coach and so I'm looking at all these faces. So Ashley, Steph, and Suzanne right now that are on this call will be inviting to my challenge group that's starting on the 23rd. Stephanie and Ashley, in our message, I'll send you the blog post that I did about the group so that you know what it entails. So when you're inviting people, they're not like, oh, hey, I don't know what I'm talking about. And you and I both, all three of us, will schedule a Zoom call. We just did one the other night. It's kind of what I'm doing with new coaches. Group Zoom calls so we can really go over fine-tune things. So other people like Noelle, you do your challenge groups with Jen and stuff like that, and Kate runs hers and Tiffany runs her own. So there's just people on the call. But in general, any new coaches or newer coaches of mine, November 23rd, challenge group. That's what we're focusing. Anything else? Does that help you figure out a plan? Got to get organized. It's busy.
Definitely.
I mean, if we're busy personally, it's going to be busy business-wise, right? So because we have too much going on personal, we don't want to do business.
Right.
So just getting organized and making that planner. I'll post there's like 3 planners that you can choose from that I like. That will help.
Perfect.
Okay? If you have any questions, just post them in the group. If you do your call to action, which you should be doing, post them in Revelation Fitness. I want to see them. Okay? Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.